And my experience is everyone's picking deathmatch. But like I said, I know nothing about Crimson, so let's just say deathmatch because I'm scarred. There we go. Empire Wars. Okay, okay, CJ. I didn't know. Whoa, deathmatch! All the deathmatch players come out for this tournament because I can play their game mode. I feel like CJ's still trying to get to sudden death. I could be wrong. I just feel like CJ's a sudden death kind of guy. I'm completely wrong. I don't know CJ at all. I'm new to TSU. I'm the latest member. Never met this guy. All right. Empire Wars deathmatch and regicide. Deathmatch players pick deathmatch and ban random map. Happens every time. This was my experience the entire tournament except for versus King and Noob. So then we will move into the map draft. Let's see what predictions I can get wrong here. CJ's home map is Empire Wars. Crimson's is deathmatch. I know these deathmatch players love Vinland Saga. So I feel like if that's available, that's where it'll be. I actually don't really know how CJ is going to go about Empire Wars. I think that the truly chaotic Empire Wars pick is Lagoon. I feel like that's just got to be insane. I feel like Mired. I feel like you're an Empire Wars Mired type of guy. I just think you like Mired. Mired, I could see you picking Lagoon. That should be chaotic. I wouldn't put it past you to go hyper random either. Alright. I feel like you're going to go Mired or Lagoon. Agent of Chaos shit. And if Crimson can't get Vinland Saga, I assume he goes like Sacred Springs as well. Okay. Nope. Not Lagoon. CJ doesn't want to be scouted. He's throwing you off the scent. CJ with the Vinland Saga pick. I was picking Vinland Saga against Deathmatch players so they wouldn't have it. Crimson picks Mired. Deathmatch Mired. We've seen these games end in less than 2 minutes. Sacred Springs and Coniferous, I feel like are really safe, like RM type maps, so I can see why he's banning them. I myself like Coniferous and Sacred Springs, and I fit under that umbrella. Okay. You know what? Hyper random. I thought I'd hate it a lot more. I actually picked it once as my own home map. Kind of a fan. At least for the sake of this tournament. So what it's going to be is Empire Wars on Vinland Saga. It'll be Deathmatch on Mired. And we have Regicide on Hyper Random. Moving into the map draft. We're going with... I mean, Mired... I don't know Deathmatch meta well, so I don't know if there's like some sauce with like Deathmatch on Mired. Empire Wars on Vinland Saga. I feel like Vinland Saga... As through my experience, is a control the middle type of map. It's also really open and open to raids. But I feel like if you have a good slow push shiv, you just try to control the middle. That's what my experience has taught me here. And Britons, for example, I think would do well in that kind of scenario. But Huggy G picked Koreans against me, and then I picked that against King and Noob. I think Koreans are actually pretty good on that map. Also, knowing Empire Wars is part of it. Archer open on Empire Wars is really easy. It's probably the easiest one. Spanish pick for the band, sorry, for CJ. Georgians for Crimson. I think Georgians could be good on Vinland Saga. Chinese. Is Chinese good? Oh, Chinese is probably good for Regicide, right? Okay. Cumins is going to be for the death match. I've seen the Cumins for the faster recruit time be like a thing. You just try to end. I've seen Cumins on Meyer. You just try to end the game right away. feel like that's the strategy here. Huns are also a good deathmatch, so maybe Crimson's just picking for his own maps. I think Vietnamese is a great one for Empire Wars. Italians and Persians are both really flexible civs. Could definitely be for game one hyper random. I mean, all of CJ's drafts really flexible. I think these guys could do anything, except for the way. I love Italians. No, it ain't even my dude. I was, you know how many wins I got in SDS2 playing Italians? I was farming people. Italians on Bogland. People didn't know. Okay. So we've got very flexible options for CJ. Let's once again take a look at the maps. It's going to be Vinland Saga, Empire Wars, Mired, Deathmatch, and Hyper Random Regicide. I think the way pick. I mean, way interesting choice for Mired Deathmatch, honestly. Because if the game's supposed to, if you could try to end the game quickly, I actually think Way is not that bad about not about doing that. But I don't really know. They could do Vinland Saga, but I feel like their eco bonus is kind of diluted in Empire Wars. I don't know. I don't think the Way is going to really be the pick. But so for game one, hyper random regicide. I'm guessing the matchup will be Italians or Persians for CJ. I feel like Italians. Go with Italians. And I think for Crimson it'll be I mean, Vietnamese or Portuguese. Let's just go. I'm going to go Italians, Portuguese. All right. I'm going to boot it up. So it is Persians, Portuguese. I mean, I knew it was going to be the Persians, Italians. Got the 50-50 wrong. Portuguese I got. Got fairly interesting looking gen. I'm going to scroll out a bit just to take a big gander here. Oh, we've got markets in the corner. All the corners. Wait. Did the players see it at the start of the game? No. Oh my god, that's insane. And they have a siege tower for a scout. I mean, will the markets ever come into effect? I feel like oftentimes on Marketplace they never do. But it's an important thing to know about. That's for sure. And CJ is going to spot the fish. That's a lot of fish. I mean, I don't say a lot, but this is enough to dock. I mean, purple's going to see it as well. Looks like 2 boars, 4 deer. Little less standard count for the cows, but still plenty of food to be had with all the fish. And purple will go dock immediately, and so will CJ. So both players of the like mind here. I think that is the right decision. So it's a good reaction from both players. So good scouting and to immediately send a bill out there. You start with extra wood and regicide, so it's easy to dock. It's a very open map as well. I think walling is going to be very difficult. Actually, maybe not. This looks like unbuildable terrain, though. But I guess you could dock block the side and then wall. Actually, not that bad to wall. If someone really wanted to commit to it, but... Persians. Prefer the Persians here. Yeah, I could see it. Okay. Aye, Captain. Put a little bit lower there. Siege Tower's got some sauce though. It blocks projectiles, which is one thing. I think this is going to be kind of the. I feel like the layout of this map is going to really encourage just adding eco, because with like the wood lines and where the castles are centered in the center of both people's maps, like I feel like it's going to be pretty boom heavy, but we'll see. CJ is going to go up, and presumably, I would imagine open scouts. No, he's going to be dropping a mining camp. FC for CJ. I think he might be able to make it work. He might have to sell stone. I don't know if he's going to get the gold in time. It's going to be really close on the food, but he should get it. There's another cow here. He's got people on deer. Purple with a really late click up. It is a hot mining camp. Thank you for banning the bot. I already have the best viewers. I feel like the build order for purple not as clean as our boy CJ. This happened to me against King and Noob. I definitely went up way later than I needed to. And if CJ's actually able to find the fast castle, he could very easily just drop a TC and passively grow his lead. And could get warships out before his opponent, although I feel like that's a long trek to make over there. What would have been a possible strategy would be to come forward and dock next to your opponent's dock, like somewhere here, and then take aim. I think that actually would have been really strong here, but seeing as it is hyper random, it's kind of hard to come in prepared for adaptations like that. 4 villagers on a market. He doesn't have the wood yet for his other building, which I assume is obviously going to be the blacksmith. And he sold the food for gold. Is he going to buy the rest of the wood? Don't you just not get double bid axe here to drop the blacksmith and get double bid axe after? So I would say that's maybe the first mistake in your build order. I think you were supposed to put a pause on double bid axe until you drop that smith. You should still be up faster than your opponent, at least by 1 villager. He's got his blacksmith going down right away. A mill, presumably so he can make a market. So the thing is, we've got 6 fishing ships to CJ's 3, so on top of the berry bonus, which there weren't that many berries, but the berry bonus and the fishing has kind of led to a rest collected lead for Krimzon. Nothing to cry about, but it is there. CJ's going to be up to the castle age first, as we expect. So I feel like just dropping a town center would be the best way here, at least one. I wouldn't be surprised if there's multiple. No, CJ says, no, we're going aggro, so he's going to put down barracks here. It's not like he can really afford much, though. Like, he'll be able to drop a stable and get some knights down, but he's only got 3 on gold, so that's not much. Other side of the map, I assume purple is just going to go for organ guns. I feel like if you pick a civ with a strong unique unit on Empire on Regicide, you usually kind of lean into it. And he's actually dropping. He's putting a lot of villas on stone to potentially drop another castle. So perhaps like maybe a fast imp play here, like make organs, come forward, drop another castle, go imp, and like trap down your opponent's castle, and maybe look for King Snipe. It could be really difficult though. Organs aren't that mobile, so. Wow, such a twat. Unbelievable. Giving me stream advice. I hate it. How's that? Or do you want it like touching the border? We could even make it a little smaller, maybe. There you go. I think that's about as small as we want to go, though. Yeah. You have to be able to read that. There we go. Okay. Oh, purple's thinking about taking to the seas. I don't know about that, man. He's got to go put a dock down forward if he wants to do that. You're getting the War Galley upgrade when you have one dock, and okay, sure, second one, but it's not even like CJ's super invested on water. He has upped his fishing ships to 5, but he's got another town center down already. So it's like, how much is like destroying the fish gonna really disrupt CJ? I don't think it's that much. I would not be worried about it at all. Like, I just see that hundreds of res being put onto water as just being able to take land, and the organ guns come out. Or organ guns also are like, in my opinion, not even that great of a unit. You definitely need a giant mass of them, and like knights can easily kill them. And CJ's getting some really good scouting info with his light calf, which is an interesting decision to go light calf. Maybe just realize you didn't have a lot of gold on your ClickUp, so you just kind of making do with what you had. See that. But I do like the scouting, and it is really annoying to deal with. You're a light calf hitting the fish. You must have been so shocked to see a a fire ship. Like, it's actually just. Oh, he's on the hunt. I don't think this is worth it, but it is a feels good moment. Maybe a little bit of a tilter for purple to lose one. And he does have enough for castle, so here comes the castle. And then maybe he's looking to do an Imperial Age behind this. There's not necessarily the most amount of room to run, but he doesn't have any mobile units to kill the king either. So, like, even if he's able to push your king out, right, it won't be the biggest deal. Now, I will say this is not necessarily where I thought he was going to put the castle, but it makes a lot of sense. This is good damage if it goes up. And if we take a look at CJ's view, I don't think he'll spot it. Can't even tell. It doesn't look like it. I'm assuming not. The organ guns might give it away if he gets too close, but at that point, I don't know if there's anything you can do about this. It's not like you can't move, but there are farms here that you want, and you do have a gold stone in the back there. Like, it is some level of precarious. Now you have to come out here to get this resources, which is forward, or you go over here and just take the gold. It's not ideal. He does give it away, which is nice. So like, none of your villas will just get randomly shot by the castle upon completion. So a bit of a misplay for purple. Not really the biggest deal either. Probably only 1 or 2 villas most, but every bit counts. So as predicted, you will come out here. I think your position's still better. Like, you're going to lose your fish here. That's fine. You'll just try to keep growing eco, and then defending against organ guns is also just as simple as making a mangonel, and then you're gonna force purple into either going with like redemption monks or adding something in to snipe them. Looks like he's gonna go for a castle creep strategy on you, which I feel like mangonels can deny also. I think comfortably you should make one more when you can afford it. You could definitely afford to be having more, less on wood and more on gold at the moment, just to get those mangoes pumping. 2 organs taken down. If he doesn't notice this with his vills, yeah, he's going to be forced off here. This is actually really good, keeping those vills idle. Even if they have to go do wood, it's like, who cares? Is he going to lose one vill? He might even lose a bill. Oh, that's so close. Wow, he even loses a bill. Nice. And this mango is like a shark. Oh. Donna. Donna. Purple nopes out of there. CJ is pulling ahead in the rest collected a little bit. He's got more eco being dropped down in the front here. I think this is good, though. I don't think the pressure's enough from Krimzon yet, and he's going to be dropping now 2 more town centers, so he's got an inconvenient castle on you. But for the cost of the castle, it's like at most even. What he could do is like Omega Fish Boom. He could go like just put all these onto wood from the town centers, and then just fish boom in the back. Which is kind of what I do on Grapple. Like, if we're winning water, I'll do that, and then that's how I get turbo ahead. An elephant. Garrisoned in the castle. Where would you have liked it? Over here? Then he can't put farms. That's harassed by water. I don't think CJ has a lot of options. This is obviously risky as well. You just didn't want one. He's got to be careful over here. Probably want to delete that farm, because once these guys are done, they'll walk over there. And CJ's going to take aim at the organs with his knight. Fire ship's there. I think he might get one more organ, but it's probably about the best he could ask for. And there it is. CJ's Ville does get killed. The one annoying war elephant. I wonder what Purple's going to do about this. I mean, he could just make an organ gun and then kite you from behind. That's pretty low investment. Another Ville going to get killed. This one farm has got 2 Ville kills. CJ coming across for an aggressive castle, and organ gun spots it out. I don't think this is going to happen, buddy, but if he's paying attention to his castle, I could see maybe in game you're thinking you'll distract him by attacking his castle. And he's garrisoned the Villes and moved the organ back to fire. Maybe this does happen. That's huge. You could have put this like in his face. But I don't mind the securing of the golden stone. It's a good castle still. And now that knights are on the field, organ guns can't really do too much. So, like, if he gets 20 or 30 of them, I guess he could still fight knights, but I don't really know if that's realistically where you want to go. The elephant's slowly getting it done. How much is the bonus damage against structures? 30. That's no joke. And stone defense is another 30. Oh, so just... Okay, so that's stone defense, so it's just 30. Okay, I see. I think it's downhill, though, so you're doing a little bit less than 30. And the Villes will come Ville fight your elephant. Are they pretending this is like an elephant ram? Because it's definitely not. And they're just they're just dying to the trample damage. They were that was a trample if I've ever seen a trample. The name makes sense when you look at it like that. Yeah, and CJ's eco is looking clean. Even without fish, he's really grown the eco. He's harassing the back of the base, which is going to be really annoying. Purple is fishing out here. It's starting to get pretty inefficient. Over here, though, it's still looking good. And I assume he's going to lose 2 organ guns here. Oh, maybe just one. CJ doesn't click onto the weaker one, so... I don't think that's what CJ wanted, losing those knights there, but... Meanwhile... There's only one Ville here. Oh, man. Alright. How should I do this? I pause first and do the push-ups, or do I just leave the game on and do it? I also don't have my camera on, so you won't know, but... We'll do it between games, so how about that? Between games, I'll do the push-ups. I just made these new redeems today, so, I gotta figure it out. CJ is gonna take out this castle with elephants. I mean, is this not pure cinema? I'm wondering why he didn't just drop a monastery here. Maybe he just didn't think that CJ was gonna add in more. Which I feel like is kind of a wrong assumption. Better safe than sorry, I think. And the monks would come in handy later anyway. Meanwhile, we've got walls coming down on this side or no? Alright, more houses. Lots of racks, so... Halberdier, right? Pike and Halberdier is expected. It's a unit that we were going to see probably no matter what, because Persians are a cav civ. I'm glad you're enjoying Islam. Always top quality here. Top quality starts somewhere, and we build it up. So with the scouting information, CJ sees more racks being dropped. We'll probably start thinking about what unit he's going to use to counter the pike line. Persians, of course, have a couple options in that regard. You can go for the trash bows. You can go for hand cannons. I'd say long swords in Castle Age are kind of a meme, but people love to bring up the old Persian longsword. We won't be seeing that since we'll be in Imperial Age soon. So, devotion being made for CJ. Doesn't want to lose his elephants to conversions. Some more light cav harass coming in. Picks off a villager. It's going to get one more. The raids are definitely annoying to deal with. And they don't really require your attention. But where I'm at is like, I'm not sure if you have kind of the res at the moment to be throwing military. I'd rather see you just kind of run through, force the garrison, run out the other side, get the numbers up, and then start looking for the dives. Kind of like critical mass, like anything else, right? Once you get like 6 of these guys, if you find lone vills on far away farms like here, you just pick it off and run. And you're going to have to mass up an army at some point. So I think got to be a little more careful with throwing army. Also, clears throat. Got to get the water in. I think Persian war elephants would be a bad idea in this game because of cheap portal monks. There you go. Tried my best. It was a little high pitched there. Didn't have any practice. And yeah, so like that get killed. So we've got the crossbow upgrade coming in. I'm convinced that Commanderin is like probably the community's favorite tech. Commanderin and Farimba. Especially when I watch like low elo streams, it's always that. Those 2 words. Thank you, Islam. I had to put the disclaimer in the redeem that I in no way think I'm good at it, but I am more than happy to do it. So it'll be trash bows. The gold unit of choice for CJ remains to be seen. We do have a lot of elephants, so maybe he's just going to stick with that. No, the elephants, they perished while I was busy talking like a animated character. Alright, that's fine. I assume for Portuguese, it's probably the traditional comp, organ guns, halberdier, bombard cannon. It's pretty tried and true. Hand cannon's also a good option for them, arbalest. Although I don't think you want to necessarily choose arbalest against the Persians. I mean, the Vil kills are just heavily in your favor. Like, it's definitely not to say that your raids haven't done some level of resource damage. It's just hopefully your military will keep up. You're down about 1k right now, but it's in crossbows and his is in pike. I think if you can just basically get a nice slow push from this castle. I see, okay. Thank you for the raid, Jahaley. I hope you had a great stream. We're watching TSU member CJ cook. This is the Pick and Mixer 2 tournament hosted by Huggy G, Happy the Andy. We're in game 1 here. This is a regicide match. So Imperial Age is about to be reached for Portuguese. He does have the castle to make trebs from. He's got, it looks like a monk in the castle as a bait. His king is actually down here in the corner, which is insanely risky, by the way. Also, given the fact that CJ's been raiding with light cavalry, if one light cavalry were to make its way over there, it would be dangerous. But it's either going to be a 200 IQ or 20 IQ type of play. And more raids coming in from the crossbows. Other side of the map, we've got a forward town center. This is the kind of stuff that CJ cooks. You got the extra HP town center with Bakken chemistry. Actually pretty powerful. And more late cap raids coming down. Pikes are going to clean that up. The castle has been destroyed. CJ maybe expecting the king to pop out. Doesn't see it. Krimzon. GG's. I mean, it's definitely safe to say that CJ had the momentum in this game. It doesn't really seem like Krimzon was teched into anything else other than Pike at the moment, right? And was relying on organ guns. So maybe just felt like he was going to lose too much eco before he could get out and answer to the crossbow. And yeah, as much as I talk smack about the commander and crossbow as something people prioritize, I guess it did work here. You definitely had the right unit for pikes. So that will be 1-0 for our hero. We'll go back to the draft. Update that. So for game 2, the home map for Krimzon is going to be mired. And it's going to be a deathmatch game. So for civilizations, we have a dub here for Persians and Portuguese. Dej. Yeah, mired deathmatch games really quick. I assume it'll be humans. I've seen what little of deathmatch I have seen. Humans have faster recruit time, which means their units can get across the map really quickly. And mired, you start close to your opponent, and you have to build the town centers. So for CJ, I don't really know what he's going to go for. Maybe the way I think would make the most amount of sense. Italian bonuses, like, you know, I guess the pass-through hand cannon could be good in a deathmatch scenario, but I don't even know if you'll be able to get enough limit time to make it worth it. And extra gold from resources. It just seems like ways bonuses, like the extra armor out the gate seems really strong. So I'll just guess that. And yeah. Oh, also I need to do push-ups real quick because of the redeem. Okay. All right, I've done 10 push-ups, and now I'll hydrate. my health coach is live in the chat. All right, booting up game 2 right now. All right, so I was wrong about the humans, but I feel like the thought process was the same. The Suns have faster recruitment on their stables. Although he immediately drops archery ranges. So I don't know. This was his home map and his home game mode. CJ has opted to go for town center and stable. A little wall here. I kind of like it. But he's going to fall way behind in military, right? So I guess deathmatch on mired, you just skip the town center. And you're just going to win before eco even becomes a factor. This is a knowledge check if I've ever seen one. Here comes the cav archers. And, you know, like, if you have a TC to make builds, but they're in the town center, you can't build. And, Yeah, CJ's villas are just gonna get killed. Purple's gonna surround the TC, and that'll be that. So this game's gonna be over in 2 minutes or less. Maybe try to build the stable while they're distracted. And the Bill pops out, sees the mean men. CJ desperately needs to get more production buildings down. I think you could lose Vills just to get it down. I know it sounds crazy, but it has to get done. Still, though, the snowball is going to be crazy. I assume behind this, stables. Okay, Siege Workshop, yeah. So something to actually kill the town center is coming. This is definitely a well-rehearsed game for Krimzon. I don't know if Myers has been in other deathmatch tournaments before, or if this is just one that people thought up for Pick and Mixer 2, but... Right. CJ's also going to be house. I would have made the same mistake. Like, I don't play deathmatch either, so... Game would have started, I probably would have been building a town center. He's installing so many military because it just doesn't even matter. CJ can't make any, so as long as he has some. And an attempted gate here. Maybe trying to sneak to the bottom. Here comes Tarkins. Oh boy. That is dying quickly. So, there you have it. I think Huns are notoriously good. Deathmatch Civ. They were my band for my sets. Hello, Silver. Good to see you. We've got Krimzon on the board. 1-1. Everybody take notes on what Fluffy is saying in the chat, so this doesn't happen to you. And now for draft. Let's see, we've got L for you, W for you. And the last game mode's going to be CJ's home map of Vinland Saga. And the game mode will be Empire Wars. So if we look at what's left, I think it's got to be Vietnamese. And for CJ, interesting. I don't know if I'm partial to one or the other. I kind of see Malay's age-up bonus as a bit weaker in Empire Wars. You still get the timing, but like the villager lead matters a little bit less when you're talking about starting the game off with 29 vills or whatever it is. So, kind of hoping for, yeah, I guess would be Italians is what I would pick, but CJ is he's a chef. Yeah, Malay, elephants, or Krambits could be a thing. But yeah, I think Italians, Vietnamese. Well, we're gonna boot it up. When was I sit here booting it up? I could see the civs. I was entirely wrong. Malay and humans. So I've played this map, Empire Wars, actually twice during the tournament. Once I chose of my own volition, once was actually an accident, but ended up being my home map twice. And through my experience, it's like a control the middle type of map. There's a lot of golden stone in the middle. So, some maps have had more gens of stone than others. But it looks pretty equally distributed. What gets tricky is finding places to build. So if you like lose control of the center, even just dropping farms can be pretty difficult. I've seen people wall like in the beginning of the games here. The Cumin 2TC like isn't really a thing for Empire Wars as well, I think. Because I think your opponent could just hit Castle Age way too soon. He's going to go for it, but I think if you're a CJ, you could always just play like an FC strategy and try to punish it. And you're going to have a lot of eco for an FC strategy since you start the game off 29 bills. So I don't really think this is worth it, but we will see. You start the game off with the barracks, so you could drop military buildings right away. CJ is going to do just that. He's going to go for FC. Not a Empire Wars aficionado, but I would say for RM, usually fast castle strategies are quite effective against the 2TC boom. We'll see if that holds true here. So, immediately farm is being dropped for purple. No eco-techs. CJ did get double bid-axe, which is probably like the first thing you should do, right? Game starts, queue a bunch of villagers. Double bid-axe, drop whatever buildings you're going to go for. Total backs now being made for humans. That's good. CJ is getting pretty close to click up. Sold his stone. Said, I'm not going to be needing that because I'm going FC and all in. Which is to be expected. It's just shy 15 gold. It's the most painful 15 gold. And surprised he's not just smashing that force drop-off button. But there we go. He will be up. Humans, of course, age up quickly. I missed a death somewhere. Over here on the wall. Okay. It's gonna be another kill.
Yeah.
CJ's being a nuisance. We've got the spear coming in for backup. We got a spear here for the human player as well. If he's not watching the scout to get poked. Oh, this is so good. CJ is a well-known micro nerd. Cut that corner a little too close and also got poked, so both scouts are down. I kind of see that as maybe favor of purple if CJ does not know about where the location of the second town center is. So let's check that out. Yeah, right. So how do you punish a 2TC if you don't know where it is? These spears could try to find it. Purple is going to attempt to full wall in time. And a lot of farms being dropped. The window of opportunity for CJ to find damage here is it's pretty wide. And he's going to be going for elephants, which they are cheaper for the melee, but he doesn't really have a lot of food eco. And he's going to be going on to stone here. I'm not sure if I don't think I would do this. Because if you're gonna, I think I would try to commit a little bit more to elephants first and drop like more farms and get on, you know, more food eco to keep them going. And then once I take map control, I'll look to maybe then try to drop a castle. I love the monastery though. We got to get out military fast. So like monks and siege, I feel like are the fastest way to push somebody, especially since the melee age up very quickly. Yeah, no, you definitely won't expect the elephants and. Husbandry being put in. This mining camp is... I don't know. This one's questionable. One tire closer, and it's like in the middle, actually, and... Do you mean to be on stone here? So the elephants, well, not necessarily fully upgradable, not even getting a second cav armor. They have so much HP. Still takes quite a bit of time for a town center to take one down, so this idle time on the villagers is nice, and as you can see, a spear actually still does quite a bit of damage to the Ellies. So, the elephant will go down, but every second that these villas is not working is really good for CJ. Barracks now being made, so Krimzon perhaps just gonna stay in feudal a bit longer. Feels comfortable to just play spear defense. Will CJ make a switch or not? CJ could also add in scorpions with his Ellies. Scorpions mop up spears incredibly fast. And Wolf getting involved. A little bit of a creature battle. Meanwhile, these spears have been knocking away at this house. And decide they're probably going to run here. but small walls have been created. Woodline will stay safe. Behind this, CJ's dropping another town center. I don't know, man. I feel like committing to the all-in is more of the way. But the game is close enough to where I don't think the human player will just steamroll come Castle Age. But it will be tough once Castle Age units are taking to the field. So, Ellie coming over here. I don't think the villagers will be able to small wall the elephant's bonus damage to buildings, but spears are here. Monk will also go for a conversion on the spear. And, yeah, there we go. He could also heal up the elephant, which is actually huge. And purple is going to make a run for it. Spears can run down villagers, but they don't do a whole lot of damage. But you could body block with the spears and then attack with the elephants. That's kind of micro-intensive at this stage of the game, but, you know, if you're ever so inclined. And another elephant will break in here and likely meet its demise to the hands of a bunch of spears. And CJ will just run these vills down. No reason not to. The vill is angry with the yelling man, so he's going to try to stab him with some sort of farming utensil. Elephant says no. And despite the 2 TC play, purple is only up by 5 villagers, and it's probably going to go down. Yeah, so all those vills die. So the vill count's actually relatively even, so there's really not that much an advantage here. It is like a 500 res collected, but the amount that purple has lost is actually probably more than that at this point. Because villagers also aren't free, right? So he's lost 600 food worth of villagers. That's right there is the difference in res. Not that CJ hasn't been losing things in terms of res either, but the elephants have been quite effective. And scouts are going to take to the field, deal with the monks. I think this is kind of awkward. It's kind of an awkward situation for purple. I think actually just going for Pike just it makes sense. Pikes kill the elephants, and Pikes don't care if they get converted by monks. So, like, do you necessarily need to be throwing Lycav onto the field? I would say no. I mean, just one elephant just idles a town center for so long. And he's been getting kills. CJ is really disrupting his opponent, right? Because he's got elephants in, like, 3 or 4 different locations, so it's definitely tough to be efficient with getting villagers to work when you have to worry about elephants. And more vill kills going down. You know, I was doubtful of the second TC, but he definitely got enough damage with the elephants where he could definitely play a more of an eco-focused game now and be just fine. And this is a castle. There's nothing purple can do to stop this. Even if CJ had no elephants here, it's not hard to small wall out spears and scouts. And monks are around. Purple is going to go forward to scout. He'll actually see the vills coming forward. Well, he'll have vision of it. Whether he sees it or not is another question, right? And there we go. Castle being built. Meanwhile, more elephants causing chaos under the initial town center. Conversion attempt being made. He swaps the higher health elephant. Man, the elephant conversion buff was no joke. And I'm pretty sure he has devotion as well. So, like, these elephants are actually pretty hard to convert. I'd still say comfortably that monks do counter them, but you can see how long it actually takes for our conversion to come through. And he finally gets one. And if he doesn't garrison the monk, it might die. Oh, okay. Just barely hangs on. And Krimzon taps out. You know? I did say that I didn't think 2 TCs was going to be the way. So, I'm glad to be some level of correct. And I think CJ just did such a good job of really disrupting purple in so many different areas. It was so hard for him to kind of orient himself. And I think he didn't know what to do upon hitting Castle Age. I think it was just pretty simple. Like he just mass spears and then commit to the pikes, and then when CJ comes forward with something else, then pivot into another unit or just do pikes until you've stabilized, then make cav archers, something like that. But like without getting into the middle to get onto stone, then Kipchaks aren't really an option. Which I'd say is another reason why I'm not the biggest fan of the Human 2 TC, because I feel like, at least for me personally, I like to play Human 2 TC into Kipchak if I can. Castle helps defend also. But yeah, so well played by CJ. Glad to see the hero win. And I don't really know what the implications of the set win will be. I know CJ was kind of a stand-in for another player.